Hello my lovelies, this is Tangi from Tangi's Cakery and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making this geode cake, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about pricing because I know it's something that usually confuses a lot of people, especially at the beginning. So we're gonna get into that, so stay tuned. But before we get into all that, please click that subscribe button below and give that like button some love for more sweet content.
Also, hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time I upload. If you'd like to see some of my previous creations, follow us on Instagram, that's at Tangi's Cakery. Alright, let's get into this, shall we?
So, as I said in the beginning, pricing your cakes could be a little bit difficult, especially when you're starting out. When you're first starting out with baking, it is much more simpler to start pricing your cakes because you aren't buying in bulk, so there aren't a lot of calculations involved. What you should do is take the price of your ingredients, your utilities, and everything that you'll be using, and then you multiply that by 3. 1/3, of course, will account for your ingredients and utilities. The other third will be for your labor and your time, and then the other third will be your profit. This is convenient because in most cases you just buy what you need and not much of your ingredients will be left for you to use for another cake. You'll usually have to go out and rebuy the next time you get an order. When the orders start to roll in, that's when things become a little bit more complicated. It's expensive to be buying little amounts of your ingredients every time you need a cake. So what you'll probably need to do is to set up a spreadsheet to calculate your prices. That will include how much your recipe costs you to make one cake for a certain flavor. So for different flavors, you will have different prices. The prices of your ingredients you'll need to put in that spreadsheet, the amount that you'll be needing, and then also you divide all that into the recipes that you'll be using together with your utilities, thinking about your petrol, and if you have to have your things delivered to your house, you think about all that, and then that will streamline your pricing process. A piece of advice I'd give beginning bakers is to have minimum orders. I'll do this because there's only so many times you could divide your recipe. If you have a recipe and somebody comes to you, and believe me, somebody has come to me before, literally asking for 1 cupcake. As a beginner, you can't bake 1 cupcake because your whole recipe probably calls, let's say, for 12 cupcakes. So you can't divide your recipe by 12. So it's for instances like this where you should have a minimum number set. It also helps with stopping wastage, using materials that you're not going to end up selling and just wasting your product and ingredients. Another thing to remember is that size does not dictate your price. It's the amount of work. I'm not saying this to say that a bigger cake won't cost a little bit more than a smaller cake, but look at the amount of work you'll have to put in. It's more or less the same. So if the size is going to impact the price, it will be very minimal. So let's say, for instance, a client orders a cake from you and you charge them $500. A simple cake, so you charge them the minimum that you set. That price will not go down if the client asks you to half the size of the cake, because you'll still need to buy ingredients, you still need to switch on your oven, you still need to drive to the shop to get the ingredients. Those prices don't go down just because your cake is smaller. That's why you set a minimum for all your cakes. Some additional things to consider when you're pricing for your cakes is the rent of equipment. Sometimes you don't have certain things, so you need to rent them out. That goes into the price. Buying of decorating equipment, your little cutters and your molds, all these little things also go into pricing. Then you have your larger equipment. Say for instance you invested in mixers and ovens. Then you should also consider specialized training that you might get, and then also your experience with each and every cake that you're making. You're gaining experience, you should also quote for that. So that was just a very basic rundown of all the things to consider when you're pricing for your cakes. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Bye.